Why are there not more people talking about tonight's WWE Raw? This is gonna blow your mind. Our main event? It's a clash of titans. Seth freaking Rollins faces off against Finn Balor for the last spot in the Elimination Chamber. But wait, there's more. Penta goes head-to-head with Pete Dunne. Can Dunne get his revenge, or will Penta dominate again? And for the ladies, Roxanne Perez, fresh off her record-setting Royal Rumble, battles Raquel Rodriguez for a coveted spot in the Women's Elimination Chamber. Plus, AJ Styles takes on Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and Dakota Kai faces Ivy Nile in a #1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, and don't miss the explosive confrontations and appearances from Bianca Belair, Naomi, Sami Zayn, and more. All this, live from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, and streaming nationwide on Netflix at 8ET, 5PT. Get ready for an unforgettable night of action.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are live with the Around the Ballpark podcast. Tonight is February 17th, 2025, and we are going to be riding solo tonight. No guest host this week. Hopefully, we'll have back to be having a co-host a week from tonight on the 24th. But for tonight, what you see is what you get. It will just be myself, Mike Redman. I am your host, riding solo as we watch together live Monday Night Raw, live on Netflix, which promises to be an awesome episode. There's a lot of matches on the show tonight, a lot of announced matches, which is unusual. And we see AJ Styles arriving in the 24 car, the car driven by William Byron, the back-to-back Daytona 500 winner, is live on Raw. So that's pretty exciting. As you know, AJ Styles will be facing Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, tonight in a one-on-one match, I believe, for the first time ever. They've never faced each other, so that is pretty cool. But so if you are here with us, go ahead and please, first and foremost, hit that like button, smash that like button, and hit subscribe if this is your first time. Please hit that subscribe button. We are just 20 some odd subs away from 1,800, so that is super exciting that we're getting that close. The goal was by the end of March to hit 1,800, so we are well on our way for that. But again, oh, hello, Mama's here as well, saying hi as always. Even though she's not a wrestling fan, she's here supporting, so thank you, I appreciate it. But we've got a lot to talk about tonight, a lot that is on the show. We know that the main event tonight is for the Elimination Chamber final spot between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. The winner of that match will get into the men's Elimination Chamber match. We know already that CM Punk, John Cena have qualified, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest is in there, as well as Logan Paul have the first 5 spots. So tonight we're going to find out who is that 6th person. Will it be Finn Balor, or will it be Seth freaking Rollins? So that is our main event tonight. That will round up the slate of 6 for the Elimination Chamber. So be interested to see, as you guys come in here, who gets that last spot. Does Finn Balor actually have a legit chance? It seems that I can't imagine a world where Seth Rollins would not be one of those individuals or that individual to get that last spot. I would be surprised with that. So, but tonight, that is not all. We also have a women's qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber as Raquel Rodriguez goes one-on-one with Roxanne Perez. And we all know that Roxanne Perez at the Royal Rumble not only entered the match at the number 2 position, what was in the final 2 spots at the end of the Royal Rumble match and fell just short. So talk about the Iron Woman, this year's Iron Woman. She well exceeded expectations and seems to 100% now be on the main roster. We saw her at Vengeance Day this past weekend. She did not take home the championship, so it's pretty safe to assume that she is now a full-time superstar on Monday Night Raw, potentially on SmackDown. We don't know, but she seems to no longer be in NXT. So, but thank you guys. I see a few of you joining us live on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube. So thank you guys once again for joining us. And we see it looks like the intro packages are over. So Sami Zayn is making his way to the ring. He's well dressed. He got taken out, if you guys remember, by his best friend Kevin Owens, and so he looks to be walking a little sluggish to the ring, not his usual jovial self. But so I think we're headed toward the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens WrestleMania match, which is interesting because Kevin Owens is not on this show. He is on SmackDown. So how do we get there? Do we see a trade to Sami Zayn to SmackDown? How do we get to that match? But I believe that's the way they're going to go. It's not going to be for a championship, but I don't think it has to be. These two guys, their story writes itself. They've been best friends for so many years. They fought so many different times, on again, off again. But this time, as you know, it looks like Kevin Owens has lost his marbles at this point and is not not quite on the right planet. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, thank you guys for watching on X as well. We just started doing the X thing just a few weeks ago, and the reception and the turnaround and stuff has been great with that. So just wanted to shout out everyone for that. So, but we've got some fun guest hosts coming up in the next few weeks. But let's see what Sami Zayn has to say. He's holding his neck. We are live from Charlotte, North Carolina. So love seeing that WrestleMania logo in the background. And the rumor, even though they've had 2 recent WrestleManias in New Orleans, the rumor right now is that 2026, we're going back to New Orleans for WrestleMania. When I say we, I don't mean me. Been there, done that. I don't really have the need to go back to New Orleans again. It was a good time, but it's one of those one-stop shops for me. So we're just kind of listening in here to what Sami is saying.
And it's really crazy. I think in the entire history of this business, there are no other 2 guys whose names have been tied to each other for their entire careers like this. I'm talking from pool halls and community centers in Montreal.
And yes, we are live. I just want to make sure we are live on all 3 X, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you are here, other than Marianne, who's already said hello, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, you can just kind of have us on in the background. That is fine too. But please, 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 please hit that like button on the YouTube video side so that helps the algorithm and helps us get noticed on the YouTube format and everything like that. So,
but unfortunately, Kev, there's no forgiving and there's no forgetting this time. Because you know,
now we see. Hello, I see your comment there. So thank you for joining us. Oops, I want to make sure that, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you're at home, Mike, or if you're watching from work or whatever, but you know, there's a lot. As excited as I am for WrestleMania, those of you in the community can agree. We don't quite have the excitement that we had this time last year, and I don't think we have to have The Rock to have that excitement. But there is something missing. But I believe that they're starting to get there. I think they're going to turn the volume up, so to speak. And I think so. We're listening in to Sami Zayn as he. So it looks like we might be getting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber in a fight. I'm down for that. I thought we would get that at WrestleMania, but. Here comes the general manager
Kevin wants the match. I know they want the match too. Sammy, you know there is a part of me that also wants the match. Easy then.
Now, I'm not sure. We know we want to see this match, right? We know we want to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We know that's going to be a big stakes matchup. But who gets the L in that? Kevin Owens has lost several championship matches in a row now, like a lot. Sami Zayn feels like he's been one step away from the world title for a while now. So whoever loses this match, I really am concerned about their trajectory moving forward because they're both really needing that big win. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. How do you make the loser of that match still look strong? But so we're getting the answer is no for their match due to medical reasons. So wouldn't be surprised if this gets dragged out to WrestleMania instead of seeing it at the Chamber. But Adam Pearce said no medically.
How long have you known me? Huh? How long have you known me and Kevin? You were with us long before our names ever touched the WWE contract. You know the history between us. You know this time is different. And you know I am not taking no for an answer. All right, Sammy, Adam. I am not leaving this ring until you give me that match.
So Sami has decided he's going to stay inside the ring until he's been given that match. We've seen this before. So I feel like some kind of shenanigans is going to happen. I don't think Kevin Owens is there, but
I know that you know I cannot sanction this. What do you want me to do? Something I've never done before? I can't sanction it. So what does that mean? Sammy, that means if Kevin wants to wrap a chair around your face, I can't stop him. It means if Kevin wants to drag you up into
so it seems like we're going to get an unsanctioned match now.
I can't stop him.
So it feels like that's the direction they're going. Kind of like a lights out match where the standings or the outcome does not count.
And pile drive you again. And again. And again, and again, and again, and again.
And I'm surprised we still haven't seen Randy Orton. It's been a couple months now, quite a few months since the pile drive, and I really thought we would see him at the Royal Rumble. I thought we'd see him in Elimination Chamber, but not sure. I know he's not legit injured, so I'm not quite sure why they're holding out on Randy Orton, because it seems like they're going into the Sami Zayn story here, so not sure what the deal is there.
What do you want me to do, Sammy? What it ultimately means
But
is that in Toronto, at Elimination Chamber, it could be the very last match in the career of Sami Zayn.
and nobody believes that. He's saying this will be the last match of Sami Zayn's career. Okay, now, we're not that stupid. We're getting a "Let Them Fight" chant. So they're really playing up the crowd in this one. So Sami said he will not leave the ring until he gets the match, so he just left the ring.
Yeah, I know exactly what it means. It means if I want to wrap a steel chair around Kevin Owens' face, you can't stop me. And if I take him and beat him senseless in the middle of the concourse, you can't stop me. And if I decide to dump him on his head and end his career, you can't stop me.
And I'm kind of glad, though, that we're getting this at Chamber, although it would be a great WrestleMania match. We do need some undercard for that show. We've got the 2 Chamber matches, but nothing else was announced. So talk about another big match to really sell that show. That you got it right there. Unsanctioned match. Here we go.
In Toronto, at Elimination Chamber.
I like this that they're having this conversation at the ramp instead of in the ring. I like those little subtle things that they do to kind of just be a little bit creative, think outside the box.
It's unsanctioned. Ladies and gentlemen, a week Yeah, from Saturday.
So a week from Saturday, we're getting it. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, unsanctioned. So no referee, no rules. Everything is legal on that one. So you know what those guys can do in the ring. So that'll be interesting to see where this match goes. Excited to see it though. With that, like you said, a week from this Saturday in Toronto is the Elimination Chamber, the final stop on the road to WrestleMania.
This is a great one. This is a wonderful one. They're going to beat each other's ass in Toronto. Once and for all.
Pat McAfee is losing his mind, but that's okay. So now they're talking about who attacked Jade Cargill. So this was something we saw a few months back where she was taken out before a big match and has not been seen since. We've had no clues as to who's taken her out until recently on SmackDown. This video that they're referencing surfaced where Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were seen walking by on the side of the camera, but that does not mean anything other than they're just kind of prolonging this just a little bit longer. So it looks like they were involved, but most likely they just didn't want to get involved there. I think, I still feel like Naomi's involved somehow. It would be hard to see her as a heel. She's been a face pretty much her whole run outside of her very beginning. So
Give me credit card before we get the DLC. I don't know if the game or not, but I had to pay the DLC. But I mean, it's not much to play about.
Yeah, but I heard that Bianca and Naomi are down and they're looking for a match.
Maybe, but I feel like the only revenge is too worried about this, and Raquel and I go for it.
So we're getting a little backstage Judgment Day promo here with Dominic, Liv Morgan, and the Goons. Carlito is basically just a manager at this point. I'm not quite sure what went wrong with the return of Carlito, but there's no excitement with his character like there used to be.
You know what I mean? It's just, it really helped take a load off if we get added new members. Yeah. Every time I say something, Ben just jumps down my throat about it.
Hey, someone mentioned my name.
Yeah, we just were talking about your huge match tonight with Seth Rollins and how we can't wait to watch you.
Thanks so much. Thank you. And I was just thinking that after tonight, there's going to be 3 members of the Judgment Day at the Elimination Chamber. Hell yeah. Right? You, because you already beat Io Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Me, because I'm going to beat Seth Rollins. And Raquel. Unless it would be pretty embarrassing if you were to lose to someone like Roxanne Perez.
So yes, we are also getting, like I said earlier, we're getting Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez for a spot in the Elimination Chambers match for the women. Don't know where I see that going. I'd be surprised if Raquel wins that match. I feel like Roxanne is the one that's going to get the push right now, but we shall see.
I know new members.
Dominic's still pushing for some new members, and Finn is not okay with it. So
Carly, what are you doing? Go.
Oh, me. Oh, hold on.
You feel good?
Let's watch that little bit.
Carlito and his apple. So shout out to his apple. So as we're recapping the Royal Rumble here, so just again, want to go over, I'm going to put it here at the bottom of the screen, tonight's card. We're going to see Finn Balor and Seth Rollins in the main event for the Elimination Chamber qualifying spot. That is the final spot for the men. We're also going to see Ivy Nile take on Dakota Kai. This is a number 1 contenders match to declare who is the number 1 contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That's going to be taking place tonight as well. Not quite sure how they are considered number 1 contenders. Ivy Nile has won maybe 1 match. Same with Dakota Kai. And we haven't even had a title defense for Laura Valkyrie, the Intercontinental Champion, since she's won the championship. So I'm not quite sure why they're both been inserted into this match. But, I mean, I'm glad to see that they're going to have, and they're building towards something. But it didn't seem like they had the plan thought out too much. Like, they wanted to bring the Intercontinental Championship. They wanted to create the United States Championship for the women. And I'm all for that because they do need a second championship with all the roster space that they have. but there seemed to be not very well thought out of after the initial initiation of the champion, what we're going to do from there. We're not quite sure. So kind of in limbo. But I want to take this time now as we are on our first commercial break, just to shout out our proud sponsors in Nashville Tax Solutions. And you can see them now up on the right-hand corner of the screen, as well as the banner there. But Nashville Tax Solutions, and some exciting news, but Nashville Tax Solutions, whether you need to file years of missing returns, a current year return, or you need relief from a tax lien or levy, Nashville Tax Solutions has the solution for you. Introducing Nashville Tax Solutions, your trusted partner in the tax resolution industry. At Nashville Tax Solutions, we understand the stress and confusion that tax problems can bring. That's why we're here to offer clarity, relief, and peace of mind. Our expert team of tax professionals are dedicated to providing personalized solutions tailored to your unique situation. Here's what some people are saying about Nashville Tax Solutions. They were able to provide clear and concise explanations, ensuring that we fully understood the process and the best course of action for their situation. Chris's professionalism and attention to detail, of course, we're talking about Christopher Bennett, were evident throughout our interactions, and I felt confident and supported every step of the way. So, guys, right, we're in the middle of February. Some of you might have already filed your taxes, but this is the ideal time now. Don't let those tax troubles wear you down. Contact Nashville Tax Solutions. Let them save you from a financial nightmare. Remember, they're not just experts, guys, in the tax resolution. They're compassionate, too. So don't let the tax problems weigh you down. Contact Nashville Tax Solutions today and let them guide you to a brighter financial future. They can be reached at their new number 855-627-4829, who are now at 2 locations, one in Palm Bay and the new location, which is so exciting, in Fort Pierce, and that's at 130 South Indian River Drive. You can check out their website at NashvilleTaxSolutions.com, or you can send an email to info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com, where tax resolution is achieved. So again, just shout out to Nashville Tax Solutions. They believed in us from day one when we had just under 50 subscribers. They came on board with us, captured the vision, and now we are just 20 some odd short of reaching 800 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for all that you do. Please definitely give them a call tomorrow morning. Don't wait till the end of that tax deadline. Go ahead and let's get that out of the way now. Relief, take that relief off of yourself. Their team is more than capable and well qualified to handle that. So just wanted to share that with you guys. So again, we are back, looks like from commercial break, and hopefully 23 minutes in are going to get into our opening match. I would like to see a match start off the show one of these weeks. But it looks like we are going to start things off in the action with Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles. So Dominic's already in the ring here. And so I can't imagine a world where Dominic gets the win here. AJ's back on Raw. He's got to win his first match back, right? And I'm okay with this. They don't have to throw him in. They don't have to insert AJ Styles right into the main event right now. Let him build back up his resume, his repertoire. I do want to see him in the championship reign again before he calls a career, but he's got to get some wins under his belt. So, maybe throwing him in the Elimination Chamber after coming back from injury twice is probably not the way to go. So let's see what happens here with this matchup, and then we'll see how things go with AJ. But I would like to see him have a meaningful match at WrestleMania and not just some like multi-person match. So hopefully that's the route that they go. But we shall see. So, but yes, I see a few of you more just jumped on X. So thank you guys for watching alongside of us. We appreciate it very, very much. And I do like AJ Styles on Raw. I think he was on SmackDown for quite a while, and that was kind of his show. Kind of reminded me back in the day of Edge, where he was on Raw here and there, but SmackDown seemed to be his show. AJ has been on Raw before, but he just fits better. I used to think on SmackDown, but it's a nice change of pace to see him on Raw now. So we'll see what happens with that. But also tonight, guys, I talked about some other matchups that are going to be taking place. So I'm going to go ahead and throw them at the bottom of the screen. Like I said, I mentioned Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Elimination Chamber qualifying match. We're seeing this match here, Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles. We're getting 2 women's matches, Ivy Nile and Dakota Kai for the Intercontinental Championships #1 contender spot. We're seeing Raquel Rodriguez take on Roxanne Perez, and Penta takes on Pete Dunne. Penta, I believe, is 3-0 on the main roster. So he did get a win a couple weeks ago against Pete Dunne. So they're having that return match tonight. So I expect the same outcome, but I expect a little bit more of an even contest with Pete Dunne and Penta. That's the challenge right now, is when you have so many talented people on your roster, how do you make each person feel important? And Pete Dunne, you don't want to just see him have good match after good match. Like, you want to see a story there. So this may be Penta's first actual feud, and I'm down with that. So hopefully that is the case. As we've seen with Penta, he's got three wins over 3 main roster talent. So let's see what they're going to go with that. So, but we got AJ pounding on Dominic in the corner. It's a good crowd here tonight in Charlotte, North Carolina.
He's going to win it. He said it was best for business. It'd be hard to argue that, but AJ Styles. Nice backbreaker to Dominic Mysterio. He should have won his belt last week. AJ Styles, by the way, proved last year.
So talking a little bit about WrestleMania, right? So we know only 2 matches. We know that Charlotte Flair this past Friday night on SmackDown, she chose Tiffany Stratton. So we know that the Women's Championship will be defended by Tiffany against Charlotte Flair. And then we also know that Jey Uso last week chose Gunther to challenge for that championship. So the winner now of the Elimination Chamber match on the men's side will be challenging Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And one thing that I brought up a week ago, but I'm not a fan of both Gunther and Cody not having to defend that, especially Gunther, defend that championship pretty much from the Royal Rumble all the way to WrestleMania. I know there was a Saturday night's main event. I know Cody defended against Kevin Owens, but I feel like there should be some big, like, even TV related show where we see that title defended. It shouldn't be a given that they get 2 months off and then just get to face the champion. This isn't boxing. This isn't UFC. Wrestling has always been a thing outside of your Brock Lesnar's and your Roman Reigns, where the championship should be defended much more often on television. So if that's not going to be happening, we need to see the IC title defended, the US title defended, the women's titles defended, and that hasn't been the case. So hopefully that gets turned around. Oh, Carlito just changed the momentum and the pacing of this match. AJ Styles is now down and out on the apron on the outside, and we are cutting to our next commercial break. So this is a great opportunity. We mentioned National Tax Solutions a little bit earlier, but they're also taking part in something that's really, really cool. They're sponsoring an event coming up on Saturday, April the 5th at 7:30 a.m. This is called your Chase Your Tail 5K, and this is to support No Kill Rescue. National Tax Solutions is sponsoring this event. Join Halo and the Rescues for the 8th annual Chase Your Tail 5K. This event is for runners, it's for walkers, their dogs. The race starts at Sebastian's Community Center and travels along the beautiful Indian River. Participants will enjoy music and entertainment before and after, as well as a breakfast bar. So register now. It's only $35. That is an awesome deal. And you can register right now at halorescuefl.org/walk-for-rescues. So again, halorescuefl.org/walk-for-rescues. Register now. It's only $35, and you can take part in a great event, the 8th annual Chase Your Tail 5K. So again, National Tax Solutions really stepping out into the community, and just helping out so many people. So just love to see it. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that event on Saturday, April 5th, 7:30 a.m. It's going to be awesome. Hope to see you guys there. I have not done a 5K before, so it's going to be interesting for sure. So if you have, go ahead and mention that in the comments. Let us know that you're here. But we're going to just continue to roll. So getting back, talking about WrestleMania again. And so there's so many directions that they could go, right? You know, I still wish that Money in the Bank, the ladder match at Money in the Bank was a WrestleMania exclusive thing. I get that it's not going to be that way anymore. It's considered the number 5 big pay-per-view for the year. But I think at this point, there's so many wild cards going into, and how do we make their match at WrestleMania feel important? And I feel like adding the Money in the Bank match at a WrestleMania would be the way to go. So I know that's not going to happen. That's a pipe dream. That's a wish. But my question is, you know, only one person is going to win the chamber. And even if we do get a triple threat, you know, are we going to have a random triple threat match with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins? Is that going to be the main event? Like, is the story that CM Punk finally gets his main event match? Is that going to happen this year? Can we see that a non-title match, 3-way match as the main event? I mean, I know it's 3 of the company's biggest stars, but do you want to see that as the main event over Gunther and Jey Uso, which I do feel will start the show? I think they say the word main event, but I feel like Jey Uso and Gunther needs to start WrestleMania with a bang on night number 1. And Mike is here with us in the chat, but night 1 has always seemed to be the better of the 2 nights for whatever reason. They pull out all the stops on night 1, so I always prefer that. So, and of course, we got the announcement that SummerSlam is going to start going into 2 nights starting this year. That'll be interesting. I think that's where they need to cut that off. I don't want to see 2-night Royal Rumbles or 2-night Survivor Series, anything like that. So hopefully we keep it at the 2 because we don't want to get overloaded with those 2-night shows. I do like them, and I'm not hating that SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights, but I think that's as much as it should go because we do get a lot of content throughout the week. That was a really bad frog splash by Dominic Mysterio just there. Looks pretty bad. Looked pretty awful of a landing. But, you know, he's been your workhorse. I know he's gotten like 2 wins in the last calendar year. But Dominic's really been your workhorse. I know the crowd absolutely hates him. But I think it's kind of, although, you know, they're never going to be, you know, round of applause for Dominic Mysterio. I think it's kind of like the John Cena entrance at this point, the Kurt Angle entrance at this point, where they just enjoy booing him. And not that they don't respect him, but they just enjoy booing him. Obviously, everybody respects Kurt Angle, but when he comes to the ring, what do? You know, you suck. It's just the thing that's going to always be there with Dominic. You know, it is what it is. I would like to see him lead the Judgment Day at some point, but this is definitely the weakest that the Judgment Day has ever looked right now. So if they were to add some new members, they would need to be some legit people. Now, one question, guys, talking about new members, we've seen the big debut this past Tuesday. Only a 2 count, but Dominic. We saw this past Tuesday on NXT television the big debut of Ricky Starks 1 day after being released from AEW. Shows up. We just got the Styles Clash. The crowd counted 1, 2, 3 before the ref got there. So we get the win for AJ Styles. Again, no big surprise there. But AJ gets the win in the opening match. Oh, that was the spear. So Braun Breaker is out here and was trying to spear the ever-loving guts out of AJ Styles and took out Dominic Mysterio in its place. So we get a bit of stare down now between Braun Breaker and AJ Styles. Now, I am all for an AJ Styles Braun Breaker match, but I don't want to necessarily see it hot shotted till next Saturday for Elimination Chamber. I'd like to see a little bit of a build. So we shall see. Are they going to hot shot that match? They might. I don't know. But so there you see it at the bottom. AJ Styles defeats Dominic Mysterio in the opening match. Again, no surprise there. We kind of all saw that coming, especially with it being his first match back. So. See Lillian Garcia there. Definitely much older than we remember her from our childhood, but she's still killing it on Raw. It's great to have her and Alicia Taylor on the main roster doing their thing on the mic.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, last week here on Monday Night Raw, we had a tag team championship match. We'll get to that in just a moment. The big news concerning American Made and the Creed brothers. Julius Creed has been tapped to join Team Cormier as coach for the Ultimate Fighter. Our man Daniel Cormier taking Julius Creed to be a part of his team.
So right now they're talking about the tag team match last week between the Creed brothers and the War Raiders. Last week finally felt like we were getting back to tag team wrestling. That's been something that has been greatly missed recently, is tag team wrestling on Raw and SmackDown. Still don't feel like they need the championships on both brands. I still feel like one set of tag team titles should do it. But we'll see. Because, if you have 2 or 3 teams per show, we're going to see the repetitive same match over and over again. That was the problem the first time around.
We promised Master Gable by the time he got back, we all would have gold around our waists. That's why tonight I'm going to take care of Dakota. Hey, Dakota, listen. I know all these people want to see you get another title shot at the Intercontinental Championship. But I'm telling you, the Cinderella story ends tonight. I'm taking that title home to American Made. Look here, you little whippersnapper. Many women have tried to take me down before, and they were far tougher than you. Okay? I'm earning my rematch tonight. I'll see you in the ring.
Dakota, Ivy, tonight.
So Chad Gable's still not there. He's still in Mexico, apparently scouting the Lucha Libre talent. So, but he said he would not return without until the rest of his little stable mates there have some gold around their waist. So we shall see. So we are now on another commercial break here. So getting back to WrestleMania talk now. So, let's dive into the Elimination Chamber just for a little bit. So we know that CM Punk is in the match. He qualified. He earned his spot, as did Damian Priest in a great triple threat match this past Friday on SmackDown. Damian Priest, of course, qualified when Jacob Fatu got taken out in that one, and Braun Strowman got the pinfall, or he got taken down. So Damian Priest defeated both Fatu and Braun Strowman, with Braun taking the loss in that one. So that's how Damian Priest got in to the chamber. I would have preferred Fatu in that spot, but I understand why that happened. Of course, we got Drew McIntyre. He qualified for the Elimination Chamber by a week ago, defeating Jimmy Uso and LA Knight. And again, that's another one, is Jimmy Uso. Like, there's so much talent that you don't want to see just thrown into like a multi-man match. But what do they do with Jimmy Uso at WrestleMania? What do they do with like a Ludwig Kaiser? What do they do with Sheamus? Like, there's so many people that I feel like should be in something of some substance, and they're not. And so I'm a little worried about that. It's not panic time. There's still almost 60 days until WrestleMania. But I feel like they need to start amping up that turn up the charge a little bit here to get our excitement back to where it was. So hopefully that happens. But for now, we're going to continue to just discuss about the Elimination Chamber. So mention all that. So of course, John Cena, he's filming a movie, so he did not have to qualify, and nor really should he. But I'm sure that's going to be played up a lot as we continue on, as we get closer. Everyone else having to had qualify to get in. John Cena did not. I know the heavy favorite right now is that John Cena will be the one going to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes, and I just don't see that. Like, I know that's what's rumored to happen, but I see John Cena getting his championship, but I don't believe that we're going to get there just this soon. I can honestly say that SummerSlam would be the better fit. Have it be closer to the end, have him have to chase and chase and chase. Now, I don't want him winless until SummerSlam. Like, I do want to see some wins under his belt. So you can go a different route. You can go John Cena, Logan Paul at WrestleMania. You can go John Cena, CM Punk at WrestleMania. You can go many different ways, but it doesn't have to be where Cena has to get the championship at WrestleMania because this is his last one. Remember, guys, he's there until the end of December, so he has plenty of opportunity. And I believe we'll see some sort of December pay-per-view. I saw an article mentioning that a Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view might be discussed for December to kind of tie in his career. So they're showing Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Again, mentioned, won a fantastic match against Dakota Kai. But since then, she's 0-1. She lost to Bayley in a qualifying match. I don't like seeing champions lose in non-title matches that often. It should be much less often as we see it. So I don't know if what you guys think here in the chat, but I feel like it's going to go in the direction of Ivy Nile. I feel like they've been kind of building that up. I'm not quite sure. I want to see Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria, but I would be surprised if Dakota Kai gets the win here because they're not going to take the belt off of Lyra. She hasn't even had one title defense yet, so I think it's a safer first challenge if it's Ivy Nile instead of Dakota Kai. But Dakota is definitely moving up the ladder in terms of favorites on the women's division. She's put the time in, and I know she's had some injuries here and there, but it's so good to see her on her own right now, doing her thing, and hopefully has a great showing. Hopefully, we're talking about this match, that this is not a 2 to 3 minute match. Hopefully, this is they get a good 8, 9, 10, 12 minutes here. So. I remember getting to see Dakota Kai here at the Melbourne Auditorium a few times. One thing I found interesting was that Dakota Kai and Rhea Ripley were approximately the same height. I know on TV, Rhea Ripley seems larger than life, but in person, they're actually about the same height. So I was surprised there was a meet and greet with both of them. So that was really cool. And speaking of that same day, we were talking a little bit earlier. And Dakota just took a bad fall, but she looks okay. So we were talking earlier about the Judgment Day, and they keep teasing about, let's add some new members. Now, we mentioned Ricky Starks just joined NXT a week ago and is going to be on the program tomorrow. But another free agent that recently left AEW was released is Aleister Black. Now, I don't necessarily know if I want to see him in a faction, but if they're not wanting Dominic to lead, I can absolutely see Aleister Black fitting in with the Judgment Day. I haven't seen that anywhere, haven't heard that anywhere. I would prefer to see more of the Aleister Black that we saw in the black and gold NXT than I would be to see him in another faction and get lost in the shuffle. But maybe he's the leader of that. Maybe they try that out. I can absolutely see that. Another man now that I would love to see back that was just released in AEW was Miro, or better known as Rusev. Now, we know at some point we're going to see Aleister Black. His wife is on SmackDown, which is Zelina Vega. But we don't even know if Miro or Rusev wants to continue wrestling. But if he does, I feel like this time around would be a lot better in the ring on Raw under the Triple H regime. I would absolutely love to see Miro back in the WWE. Get that bad taste out of our mouths when we last saw him with a terrible storyline with Lana and Bobby Lashley, and it was just a bit ridiculous. So I'd love to see a Rusev Day return at some point in 2025. So hopefully that is being discussed and somebody's planning that somewhere. We'd love to see it. And hopefully next in line right after that's going to be Rey Fenix. I think Tony Khan is getting some advice to start releasing some of the talent that don't want to be there. I definitely wouldn't give the credit to Tony Khan. I feel like there's people in his ear that is making the push for that. But however it happens, I like seeing Penta on his own right now, but that's got to be frustrating to be Rey Fenix sitting there with nothing to do, just collecting a paycheck, wanting to work, wanting to earn your living, but basically being shut down. And I don't know the length of the contract that was extended, but I believe it's probably through the duration of the year. So. One thing that concerns me with this match here is Ivy can go in the ring, Dakota Kai can go in the ring, but the crowd is sitting on their hands right now. There's no movement. There's no interest. You don't want to see that. And I don't know what they can do to generate more interest in these two outside of just letting them go. Like, let them have a 15, 16-minute outstanding matchup. I think them doing these 4 minutes start, stop, on again, off again matches is doing the division much harm. So let these people go. I mean, the tag team match last week with the New Day, with the Creed brothers in that tag team match was outstanding. And now it's kind of build back the interest in the tag team division a little bit. So hopefully these two can just go for a long period of time. Now, speaking of Dakota Kai with her faction she was in, I haven't heard anything about the healing of, but like where Asuka, where her timetable is in returning, where we know Io Sky is going to be getting a title match the night after Elimination Chamber, but what about her tag team partner? She's been injured as well. Io Sky's tag team partner, so. We'll see. It'd be nice to get some of these injured-prone people back just in time for WrestleMania season. So, and hi, Heather. We've seen you in the chat. So thanks for being here every week. Hopefully you're starting to learn some of the new the talent on Raw watching us weekly now. So right now we are live watching Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile battle it out, with the winner becoming the number one contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So that's where we're at right now. We got WrestleMania just about 2 months away. I will definitely be having people over for that one. It's pretty much a given, the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So I think we've already enticed Eddie to come by and do a similar setup that we did for Royal Rumble. So hopefully guys can make it for that one. The downside, though, is whoever decided that to put WrestleMania on Easter weekend. I'm not a big fan of that. But the good news is that they do have a show on Saturday, night one, and then Easter Sunday, the evening, is night two. So possibly on that Easter Saturday, we can have some people over. But I wish that they reconsider that in the future. That's not an ideal situation, especially if you want to have some people over, Easter dinner and all that such. So. That's an interesting pin. Okay. It looked like they're going to go to commercial break there, but they're continuing on. Again, I'm concerned about the crowd just sitting there right now. Like, it looked like the referee was holding Ivy's hand, but let's see. Oh, nice move. Will that be it? Wow. Okay. So Dakota Kai gets the win. I am surprised with that. I did not see that coming, but I'm not hating it. I think the smart choice would have been Ivy Nile there, but if we're now getting a rematch between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyrie for the Intercontinental title, I'm with it. I would have liked to seen these two go just a few extra more minutes, but so we don't know when that match will be, but we're getting the rematch, so that's pretty cool. Excited to see that again. And guys, once again, just want to give the heads up, but you'll see the banner at the bottom of the screen here with Nashville Tech Solutions, but we are now just 20 subs shy of 1,800. So if you get a chance to just take that extra few minutes, so we're at 1779, guys. So we need 21 more subscribers. There's got to be a long lost cousin. There's got to be a mailman. It's got to be a worker at the grocery store. It's got to be somebody in your life that hasn't subscribed to our podcast that you can share with. That would be super, super helpful. We want to get to that number of 1,800 by the end of March. I'd love to be by that 2,000 number by WrestleMania season in April, but let's get to 1,800. We are so, so close. So please, please, please share with anyone that you can. Get them subscribed. We would really greatly appreciate it. And you'll see here now in just a second the results of tonight so far. AJ Styles in the opening match defeated Dominic Mysterio, and Dakota Kai defeated Ivy Nile. So now Dakota Kai is the #1 contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So that'll be Lyra Valkyrie in a rematch of the finals of the tournament. So I'm sure we'll get the announcement of when that will be. It could be at Elimination Chamber, or it could be maybe a week or so after that. So I'm sure we'll find out together. So just an update on what is to come on this channel. So Thursday night, we're going to be live at 9 p.m. Eastern, which we usually are not live on Thursday. But we have a super fan of the Chicago Cubs that's going to be on with us. His name is Paul Shellcross. He'll be on with us live, myself and Darren, Thursday night around the Ballpark podcast. So that is super cool. And then Sunday evening, we'll be on with a super fan for the Toronto Blue Jays. We've never done a Blue Jays episode, but with baseball season just over a month away, spring training actually starts this Thursday. So super excited to dive into the baseball world here with some heavy baseball chat. So that'll be Sunday. And then, of course, a week from tonight, we will be live. And I believe with Robert Shoemaker and myself together, we'll be live discussing all things Monday Night Raw. You'll notice Devon was supposed to be on with me tonight, but his flight got canceled or delayed. So we'll be rescheduling. So we definitely want to have him on with us in the future. So that's a little shout out of what's to come. Also to come, starting on February 25th, we are starting a new series called 30 Parks in 30 Days. So basically every day you're going to see a video from myself and Darren. It's like a 10 to 12 minute short where we're going to preview a different Major League Baseball team each and every day as we lead up, and it'll take us right to the start of the 2025 baseball season. So we've been working on that now already. So with some more recordings and stuff. So keep an eye on for that. February 25th, every day you're going to get a video, and the series is called, like I said, 30 Parks in 30 days. So super, super excited to be able to share that with you guys. So hopefully you guys check it out and see if it's your thing. And I'll go ahead and put the logo on the top right-hand corner, but you'll see it right there, 30 Parks in 30 days. So it's a third venture for our channel as we continue to grow. So Heather asked, what is the Elimination Chamber? So great question. So the Elimination Chamber is a unique match. If you've ever heard of a steel cage match. So here, this is a special structure that they created where there's 4 pods around the ring. And these are pods that have glass around them. So you can't get in. They're locked into these pods. So it's a 6-person match. So each of the people we have to qualify to get in the match. Once you get in the match, they'll take 4 people and they'll put one of them in each of the 4 pods. And then the other 2 superstars will come to the ring and fight for about 5 minutes. Once that 5 minutes is up, then at random, one of the pods will open, will light up, and it'll open. And whoever superstar was in that pod will be released first. And then that'll happen every 5 minutes. A new person will come out, and the match actually officially starts right away. But the only way to be taken out of the match is by pinfall or submission. So, the person who has to come out last of the pod, they're going to be the most fresh and have the best chance to win the match versus someone who starts it. So we know so far we have 5 of the 6 names in the chamber match. We know that it's going to be John Cena. We know it's going to be CM Punk. We know it's going to be Drew McIntyre. We know it's going to be Logan Paul. And we know it's going to be Damian Priest. So tonight in the main event, it's either going to be Seth freaking Rollins or Finn Balor. And the winner of that match will take that final spot in the men's elimination chamber. And then there'll also be a women's elimination chamber match as well. So, yeah, it's a fun event. It's the last show before it's the last pay-per-view. They still call it pay-per-view. They call it live event or premium live event. But it's the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania in April. So there's no pay-per-view in the month of March, I believe. Actually, I think it might fall on the 1st of March. So technically it is in March. So it's an exciting show. It's, so it goes Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then WrestleMania. So thank you. Yes. And I know there's a lot of things going on locally here tonight and different things. So I know not everyone could join us tonight, but we are thankful for the 11 of you that are on right now. We thank you very much. So right now we're watching Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion. So Gunther is doing the entrance of Jey Uso, which is kind of funny because he's asking the crowd to yeet along with him. But there's a few takers, but for the most part, they're not wanting to participate in this.
So I get the concept myself. Very simple gesture for very simple people. And I get why Jey feels so comfortable up here, because he's quite the simple guy himself. I don't blame you for not appreciating me.
The thing is with Gunther, he's so good in the ring and he is good on the mic, but again, are we going to wait until April 20th to see him have his next match? Like, is he just going to talk week after week? Like, is he going to get in the ring? You don't have to have it be a title match. You can have a tag team match. He's still got Ludwig Kaiser, his former partner, on the same show as him.
What you need to understand is that as the best wrestler in this company right now, I am sick and tired of stepping into the ring with people that can't even lace my boots.
One thing with Gunther, too, is he's been around for quite a while now, and has only 2 losses on his record. Of course, I'm talking about the loss to Cody Rhodes the end of last year in the champion versus champion match, and then at WrestleMania last year against Sami Zayn. But prior to that, he was 666 days, which is an awful number, but he was Intercontinental Champion for a record 666 days in a row before losing that match. So, 2 losses in his entire career. That is amazing. We see a lot of the title belts in the crowd. Like, those guys, those are not cheap. Title belts go for starting around $350, $450 for the replica titles. So
in every aspect of this sports.
The crowd is waiting for Jey Uso. Like, they are ready to yeet But will we see Jey Uso tonight? I mean, I'm assuming we will, but we'll find out.
What all of you did after WrestleMania, Jey Uso's blood will be on your hands.
So again, the story, guys, here is Gunther has defeated Jey Uso on 3 occasions over the years. So Jey Uso has never defeated Gunther. So will this be his defining moment? Can a tag team wrestler, Jey Uso, on his own become world heavyweight champion? We saw him become Intercontinental champion for 2 weeks. But there's something special about this year. I don't know how many thousands of fans are going to be in attendance in Las Vegas, but now the crowd is chanting, "We want Jey." No surprise there.
You know what? I'm aware that none of you have a clue anyway. So why not get a professional opinion on this whole topic?
So Gunther is going to the announcing table. Oh, no, he's standing on the announcing table with his loafers. He loves his little loafer shoes.
Michael? Pat? In your supposed to be unbiased professional opinion, do you really believe that Jey Uso has a chance to beat me at WrestleMania?
So he's putting the commentators on the spot, asking Michael Cole and Pat McAfee if they truly believe that Jey Uso could beat him.
You're always running them off, Pat. Say it to me, come on.
He just threw his microphone at Pat McAfee, putting him on the spot.
Do I think Jey Uso can beat you at WrestleMania? Hey, Pat, be careful here.
Michael's telling him to be careful.
Or not only anything can happen. Little yeeting here, little yeeting there, yeeting all over the place. Yeah, I hope he can beat you at WrestleMania. Yeah.
The yeet here and the yeet there. So, Gunther took off his jacket. So, I think he was trying to intimidate Mr. McAfee, but it's not working too well.
Well, this is what's coming. Hey, guys, Jey Uso. Yeah, this is final. Jey back. Jey is hurt about. Pat, what are you doing? You're gonna get a foot kill.
So, the referees are holding. So, Pat is on the desk yeeting, and the referees are holding Jey back. Oh, no, that didn't last too long. When has security actually worked in WWE? It's never worked out too well. We're getting here come the real security now. They just got tossed out of the ring as well. Couple super kicks here and there. Where do they hire these guys? They're terrible. These security every time. Like, there's got to be a gym they can walk into and find some different, some bigger built men than what they're showing here. So the crowd is, we've got to see the crowd yeeting at WrestleMania. We've got to see that. Heather says they are like Steve from the Jerry Springer Show back in the day. Yes. That show, it was always ridiculous, but there had to have been a day with a Jerry Springer Show where they're like, all right, everyone knows this is not real. Like, we're making this all up. But so many ridiculous families and stories on that show. But yes, you're right. Steve never seemed to really get the job done to really protect anybody on that show. So Heather, you said, wait, was it real? So when it very first started, like the first year or two, I saw a couple of documentaries on this. That's the only way I know. But the first year or two, it was just kind of like, who's the father, all that kind of stuff. But then they realized, like, to get the ratings and to be cutting edge, they would have people, now not necessarily that they paid off to make up lies, but they would have these stories get embellished, so to speak, where, you know, they try to build it up and make it much of a kind of like how WWE is a little bit like a soap opera. So it became completely different than the initial goal of actually making it a talk show with people and things like that. So yes, it was not real. A lot of the time, whether I don't know financially, did they get a benefit? Was it just the TV exposure? I don't know why you'd want to put yourself through that. But yeah, so it was not real. I remember one specific episode, Heather, where one female, top-notch female, comes out and says that she's leaving her husband. She's found someone else, a better companion, a better soulmate, and it turned out to be a traffic cone. She goes to the back and brings out an orange traffic cone and puts it in the chair and says that they're getting married. So, like, obviously, don't know what kind of payment was had there. I'm not sure who okayed something like that. But it was must see for those that enjoyed it, just to see how much crazier it could get. But yes, drama, correct.
Nice try, Cap. We got really mentioned some guilt there from Liv and Raquel. But Elimination Chamber.
So Liv and Raquel were just questioned, were they the ones that took out Bianca Belair? And she didn't get much of an answer there. So oh, here we go. Probably to me, the most exciting person on Raw right now, Penta, coming up next. Penta and Pete Dunne, 1-on-1. We did see this match a couple weeks ago, but that was early on in Penta's career, or with this run he's on. So I always love watching his entrance and his matches. So super excited to see that. So, and just a heads up, guys, we will be live tonight until 9:30. So we're not going to stay on for the duration of the show, but we will go hard stop at 9:30 tonight. So just over 20 minutes left. So we'll get through the Penta match at least here to see where they're at. So thank you guys for joining us for that. Got to do a little bit of studying. Got 4 classes left to go in Life Christian University. So right now we're currently on the Life and Teaching of Jesus Part 2. This is the first class that I have a paper for. So definitely have to start preparing for that sooner than later. But another thing I want to talk about now that we are on commercial break is those of you watching, super excited. On Sunday night, April the 6th, is the Rare of Breed Redemption Tour Part 2. I was fortunate enough to see Part 1, but we received a nice little surprise that on February 28th, Rare of Breed will be releasing their 4th album. We're getting a brand new album. So a lot of the songs on this new album could very well be on the tour that begins in March and ends on April 6th when we have the show. So on the 28th, you can actually pre-order the album now, but we're getting an entire new recovery album from Rare of Breed. There's another collaboration with Joe Nestor on there. But Sunday night, if you're in the Palm Bay, Melbourne, Brevard County, Orlando area, make sure, save the date, Sunday night, April the 6th at the O'Gallia Civic Center. We're anticipating, folks, of at least 600 people in attendance for this concert. We're getting Rare of Breed and Joe Nestor coming. We're going to have worship. We're going to have a great time. So save the date for that. Tickets are only $15. You can get them on rareofbreed.com. You can go to joenestormusic.com today and do that. And I'm excited for this concert. I got to see it in November, like I said, in Jacksonville, and to be able to bring it here locally It's going to be super exciting. We're partnering with Straight Gate Ministry. Super, super cool. So save that date on your calendar as well. And another save the date here too. If you're a seafood lover like I am, the weekend of March, I believe it's March 2nd, 1st and 2nd, is the Grant Seafood Festival. And I'm not sure, Heather, if you've been and anyone else watching, but that is a staple. And it's a search interfere. I just came back. Oh, okay. It said search interfere. I'm not sure what you mean, Mom, if you want to repeat that. Was the internet out or something? Maybe that's what you're saying. But but yeah, the Grant Seafood Festival is coming. So you have, okay, cool. So that's coming on March 1st and March 2nd. So my number one item is the linguine and clam sauce. I kind of tend to hang out over there. I don't stay the entire time, but so many different vendors, such a great experience. Again, it's a little bit too much rowdiness going on for my liking, but I definitely make it a point to go every single year. I know I could just make some of this stuff at home, right? But it's just something about nice weather, getting out. It's not a far drive at all from where we live, so looking forward to that. So, but yeah, that's going to be March 1st and the 2nd. So, and you got to get there early. That's the secret. I know you don't typically think seafood at 11 a.m., but if you can get there by 10, 11 a.m. when they first open, not only do you avoid long lines with parking and stuff, you get a very close-up spot. You don't have to walk as much. So I highly suggest, if you are going to the Seafood Festival, get there early, make a half a day out of it at least.
It's not official. It's unsanctioned.
And you'll see at the bottom there, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, smash the like button, destroy the like button, jump on the like button. I don't care. We need likes. That helps get our algorithm and our numbers up online. But by hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button, we're going to get us that much closer to 1,800 subscribers. We're just 21 subscribers away. So if you know anybody, please, please, please reach out to them so we can get those additional subs on the channel. So we see Pete Dunne already in the ring. We just saw his boots, but not a big fan of him not getting an entrance. But yes, definitely. And it's a day event, which is great. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. It's hard to meet people there because there's so many people and stuff now. You do have to wait in line to get tickets. It's not where you can just walk in with cash at the Seafood Festival and pay for things. You have to go to either a card line or cash line and stuff. And you have to plan out specifically what you want, because you'll either leave with too many tickets that you didn't use, which doesn't happen for me, let's be honest, but or you didn't get enough and you have to go through that line again. So I can't stress enough how important it is to go earlier in the day so you can avoid the crazy lines and things like that. So and now we are getting probably the best entrance in all of WWE outside of Jey Uso, of course, and Cody Rhodes, is the Penta entrance. And he is making a killing with those masks online and on the WWE shop and Penta merch. So happy for him. And he had that special moment with his family and their second episode in his debut. So 87 kilos. So they're referring to the Royal Rumble. Penta lasted 42 minutes in the Royal Rumble match this year, which is super, super cool. And that moment at the beginning of the Rumble with him and Rey Mysterio to start the match, that was so exciting to see. I'm sure we'll get a one-on-one match between the two down the road. Zero fear, yes. Yes, Heather, what is your favorite item when you go to the Seafood Fest? For me, like I said, it's either the linguine clam sauce. For me is the number one. The hush puppies are always good as well. I think there's what kind of sandwich was it? Some kind of fish sandwich that's really good. But typically I'll go twice to the Linguini and hang out over there. They have some shrimp skewers, which are good. I tried the gator bites; those are good too. But once you kind of know what it is and you see inside of it, I'm like, I can deal without it. But the barbecue fest. So Heather, the barbecue fest that they do is like one, and I'm not exaggerating, it's like 1/1000th of the amount of people that go to the seafood festival. Barbecue fest, it is what it is. Like there's not that much variety. But when you go to, I think at the barbecue fest, there's like 20 to 30 vendors. At the seafood fest, I believe there's about 350 to 400 vendors, is what if I remember correctly. That's just vendors, and then you have food all over the place. You have chairs all over the place for the different performers on the stage and whatnot. So it's something I like to do for 2 to 3 hours. I'm not going to make it a whole day there and stuff like that, because one, I'll go broke, and then two, there's only so much you can do there unless you're just there for the concert and stuff. But this finger pull that he does, I can't imagine it feeling good. I don't know. But Pete Dunne always looks like he's dislocating everybody's fingers in every single match that he has. So, and we saw Gunther a little bit ago. Those that don't know, in NXT UK, Gunther and Pete Dunne had one of the very best matches I've ever seen in my lifetime. So I'd love to see Pete Dunne get back to that level once again. But unfortunately, right now he's kind of in the middle of the pack right now and stuff. So can't all be at the top, but someday I'd like to see another match between those two. So, you put your car in the car show and sold paparazzi jewelry. So Eileen did that for quite a while, not bringing it to the event, but she did from home the paparazzi, and she really enjoyed it for the time that she did it. She did it for I want to say 6 to 8 months. Had some I always had fun writing things down as she was doing her lives, so people bought things and stuff like that. That was always a lot of fun. But I think it's Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully the weather is good. We're supposed to get a cold front, and then it's going to get hot again, and then another cold front. So I don't know. We're in that wacky time of the year, but it's been too hot for February. That's all I know. They call him the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne. And those of you that are maybe not watching now or go back later, but you gotta wonder if with them calling him Butch for so long, do they not take his character as seriously? I'm glad that he went back to his Pete Dunne name, but I feel like there's just something missing there. But we just saw Ludwig Kaiser on his way to the ring. It's another guy that's kind of lost in the shuffle right now. Great talent, can go with anybody, but not sure the plans they have for him. So if he's not involved in the Intercontinental Championship, then I'm not quite sure what someone like him does. So, but we are on our next commercial break. And again, we are going to go live until 9:30 tonight. So we're going to be live that first hour and a half, and then we will call it a night at 9:30. So hopefully you can hang on with us until then, at least the duration of this match with Penta and Pete Dunne. So again, just want to do another quick shout out. We mentioned it at the beginning with Nashville Tax Solutions, but they are not only our proud sponsor, but they are also sponsoring an event on Saturday, April the 5th, called Chase Your Tail 5K. This is going to be Saturday, April 5th, 7:30 in the morning, supporting No Kill Rescue. Nashville Tax Solutions is sponsoring this event. Join Halo and the Rescues for the 8th annual Chase Your Tail 5K. This event is for runners, walkers, and their dogs. The race starts at Sebastian's Community Center and travels along the beautiful Indian River. Participants will enjoy music and entertainment before and after the race, as well as a breakfast bar before the race begins. So you can register now. It's only $35 at halorescuefl.org/ walk-for-rescue. So again, it's called the Chase Your Tail 5K, sponsored by our proud sponsor, Nashville Tax Solutions, who now have a second new office in Fort Pierce, 130 South Indian River Drive. So definitely want to check that event out if you have any pet enthusiasts or if you're a fan of 5Ks. I personally haven't even done a 1K or a half of a K or a quarter of a K. So I don't know how I do a 5K. I don't even know how far a 5K is, but I would be interested to look into it. But if that is your thing, definitely check it out. Again, halorescuefl.org, Walk for Rescues is the site for that. And again, that is Nashville Tax Solutions, the proud sponsor for that event as well. And so we are back, it looks like, live. Yes, we are back live now for Pete Dunne and Penta. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. Now that was exciting. See, what Penta does, he brings adrenaline and just that energy to the next level. You know, the crowd has been pretty quiet for the most part tonight outside of Jey Uso coming out. So that was a cool move. Oop. Oh, close to, only a 2. Now, seeing Kaiser out there, if you remember, Kaiser was the person who Penta defeated 2 weeks ago for his third victory. So again, Penta is 3-0 currently in singles competition with wins over Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser. So I like that they're kind of interweaving all this together and all that kind of stuff. Now, this is a move, headstand on the top rope that I had done yesterday. It felt great. Oh, I'm not quite sure if he kicked out of that one. It looked like a 3, but ref says 2, so who am I to judge? You gotta wonder how many referees have hurt their hand. The way how hard they come down, like it's not downy soft, the ring. Like it's a hard ring. It seems like his referees, there's got to have been some referee with some sort of hand injury at some point from counting too hard on the ring. Oh, another nice kick to the face. I like that they're getting a good amount of time. We've already went through one commercial break. There's nothing I dislike more than like 2-minute matches on Raw. You can't get invested in something like that. The Mexican Destroyer is quickly turning into one of my favorite moves to see each and every week. This guy, Ludwig Kaiser, sometimes just looks like a Ken doll out there. Like, just. Uh-oh. Are we going to see a first loss for Penta here? Oh, I thought they were going that direction, but he gets out just in time. So Pete Dunne telling Ludwig Kaiser to stay out of his business. Uh-oh. Oh. Yes, and Penta gets the win. He is now 4-0 on Raw. So Kaiser inadvertently cost Pete Dunne the win or the match here. The Penta driver, too, looks like it can go horribly wrong, like the landing on the neck or something. But, oh. Kaiser looked like he was trying to rip off the mask of Penta. And now Pete Dunne and Kaiser getting into it in the outside. So I like this. It's not one and done where they beat somebody and then moves on to the next one. Like, I like the fact that they're circling back to some of these guys and they're going to continue to try to take Penta down. So Penta, Sierra Medio 4-0. So yes, here we are, Elimination Chamber. A week from this Saturday, March 1st. And you see there Liv Morgan on the left. She's already qualified. Seth Rollins on the right has to win his match with Finn Balor tonight to even qualify for the Money in the Bank. So we'll see if that happens. Kathy Kelly again, one of my favorites.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jay Russo and Jay from last week's physical attack by Gunther to tonight's verbal assault. I gotta ask, how are you feeling?
Underestimated, Kathy.
It's totally valid considering you won this year's Royal Rumble, but I have to say, I've heard a lot of superstars are doubting whether you can walk out of
Good night, Heather. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be logging off here in just a moment itself, but we will talk soon. I'm very sure. But again, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the Around the Ballpark podcast, this live stream of Monday Night Raw. Next time you can catch us live, myself and Darren, again, this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time with our guest, Paul Shellcross, super fan of the Chicago Cubs. So until next time, everybody, we'll see you around the ballpark. Bye, guys.